Hey guys, good morning to you. It's almost lunchtime, isn't it? It's about 11 o'clock. My voice is actually coming back, so I'm super excited about it. I want to talk to you quickly about some goal settings. Now, one thing about this live is that you can actually invite people from your team to it. So if you look below, you can say, you will see where it says invite. And so you can invite anyone that's underneath you to be able to listen to this, because I feel like this is something that is so important. This is something that I wish I would have known a long time ago. The lighting is not very good in here today. There we go. Is that better? There we go. Anyway, so let's see here. Try to get this light straight so that we can get this right. I don't have very good lighting in here today. All right. Well, anyway. Okay, so let's talk about goals. First of all, I bet you're like, oh my God, goals. Yuck. I don't like setting goals. I know a lot of you are like that. You know why? Because I've been like that. And whenever I would go to these programs and I would go to these things and people would say, write down your goals, I would not write down my goals. You know why? Because I was scared to. Reason I was scared to is because I didn't want to hold myself accountable, because I didn't think that I could do those things. Whether it was losing weight, learning how to ride my horse more, paying off debt, whatever it was so crazy, because whenever I would sit down and think about what I wanted, immediately I would start telling myself I couldn't have it, right? Immediately. So I want to talk to you today about something that's so important about approaching goal setting. So when you sit down and you're doing this dream week, I want you to really think about some things. First of all, goal setting is not a chore. So go ahead and get that out of your head. Because for years I thought, oh my gosh, another chore, an obligation. I got to sit down. I got to do my business plan. Oh my gosh. Or better yet, I would start looking for these motivational books and then I would just scoff at them. I'm telling you guys, if you knew me 10 years ago, you would have been like, who is that? Because my husband is probably one of the most optimistic, positive guys I've ever met. He would come in with all kinds of dreaming materials. He would come in with motivational books. He would go and he would dream and look at things, and I would never understand why, because I was like, why would you go look at that? You're never going to have that. Why do you read this stuff? This is just garbage. This is just brainwashing. I really honestly did not believe in goal setting. And because I didn't believe in goal setting, it took me a couple years to really figure out how to get a vision, how to go forward, how to stay excited, and how to keep that consistency. Okay? So that is what we're going to talk about really quick here. I'm not going to take a lot of your time, but I want you to share this with your teams. I want them to know that this is something they need to do. When you approach goals, you cannot do it like I just said, like it's a chore or an obligation, or better yet, something that you can automatically follow up with a but. You know, like, I want to lose 20 pounds in 3 months, but I have my sister's birthday party coming up. Or here's the best one. I want to lose 20 pounds by December, but what about the holidays? Well, on the holidays, I'll probably eat wrong, so I don't know if it's going to happen. You're setting yourself up. There's so many people I hear, well, I'm going to try Scentsy, and if it just doesn't work by May, then I'm going to quit. You're setting yourself up for failure. Why would you do that? There's so many people that I hear say those kind of things. So let's talk about how to change this. If you really want to be successful with your goals, they have to be something that excites you. They have to excite you, okay? It's very important that you feel excited. When you adopt an abundance thinking, deep down, you may not believe it's even possible. And until you believe it's possible and that you deserve that goal, then it's not going to be exciting for you. You can sit down and you can watch every single training from Mel Robbins to John Maxwell to the pastor of your church to me to any of the Scentsy trainings, and until you believe it in your core and you believe that you deserve that, you're not going to do it. Your limiting beliefs are going to come in, they're going to take over, they're going to bring you back to where you are right now and tell you you cannot do it. You just can't do it. So that's when your excitement will leave. So let's talk about how can we set these goals without that happening. First of all, let's think about what are your limiting beliefs. Whenever you sit there and you think, here's a perfect one for right now. In 2019, I want to make more money. But in order to make more money, I got to work harder. So I'm not sure I want to do that. Well, first of all, who told you you have to work harder, right? That's a limiting belief. You're thinking, I want to make more money in 2019 with my business, but I have to work harder. No, that's a belief that you have. I wrote down some things. I want you to think about, what kind of adjustment do you need to make to your thinking so that you can make this year in order for you to think it's possible for yourself? What kind of thinking do you have to change in your mind in order for you to think that these things are possible for yourself? Because you cannot approach your goals from a scarcity standpoint. And that is something that happens. People will make goals, but then all of a sudden say, but I have to work harder. But it's going to take me away from my family. But I don't know many people. But. You all of a sudden let scarcity in there, and you can't do that. And you have to look at the problems, you have to look at the challenges, and you have to believe that you have the ability and that you can change where they are. Because your belief is not set in stone. Right now, if I say I want to work harder, I want to make more money, but I have to work harder, that is a belief. That is something that I believe. But why do I believe that? Why wouldn't I look at it from another standpoint? Why wouldn't I look at it like an abundant standpoint? That's one thing that God gave us. He gave us a gift that we have a capacity to change. Do you hear me? We have a capacity to change. So that belief, whatever that limited belief is that you have right now, you can totally change that. Because it is not going to be enough to get you to where you want to go if you don't change your thinking to an abundance standpoint, okay? So one statement that I want you to write down if you are taking any kind of notes is that if you want to create goals for this year that stick, you must learn how to operate from your circumstances, but create your goals from your possibilities. Okay? You have to learn to operate from your circumstances, but create your goals from your possibility. You don't look at what you don't have and what you do have. You look at what's possible from this point. Okay? If you want to be a SSD, a star director, or director, then you don't look at like how many team you have right now. And, I can't do this because of this. Instead, you look at the possibilities. You look at that. So let's go back to that you would love to double your income, right? But you have to work harder. That's a limited belief. So set your goals in an abundance mindset. Instead, you would say, how can I double my income and not work as hard? You would work smarter, not harder. You would actually work less if you would learn how to work smarter. You would start to put those power hours in place. You would find balance. You would find the times to work your business. When I first started Scentsy, I was a home party fanatic. I did home parties all the time, right? And I was like, but this is the way that it has to happen. Well, my kids were little, and the reason I did so many home parties is because I needed a break. I was a stay-at-home mom with a 9-month-old, 1.5-year-old, and a 2.5-year-old, and I looked for every kind of chance I could to go have a girls' night out or to go get away and have some fun for a little bit to get a break from the kiddos before I had to come back home. So, yeah, it made sense that I was a home party fanatic during that time, right? But then as my kids got older, believe it or not, if you got little ones, it does not get easier. It actually gets a little bit harder because they become more demanding. You have to deal with their feelings and their emotions and what they think and what they don't think and how much they need you. And they need you more now than just whenever they were little. When they're little, you got nap time. You got to make sure they eat. You got to make sure they don't get hurt. It's pretty easy whenever they're little, When they get older and you got feelings and emotions and you got to make sure you have that quality time, you got to make sure they know that mama loves them. You got to make sure that they know they are number one and that Scentsy does not come before them and that nothing else comes before them because they're number one in your life. Your family is number one in your life before Scentsy. That is very, very hard. When they were little, it was easy. It was easy for me because I just made sure that I spent some time with them. They didn't get hurt. They were fed. If they were crying, they had their naps, whatever. Now I got to really worry about their heart, their soul, their spirit. Make sure I'm raising them to be the men and the women that they need to be in order to survive in this world. I can't just do what I used to do. It took a new me in order to do this. So, no, home parties became non-existent in my life. The next two, well, no, I did another home party the next year, but the next year after that, basket parties. It was all about basket parties because I realized that Scentsy had a vehicle of giving me basket parties to get out 8 to 10 parties a month. If they would do 200, 400, 500, 600, whatever it is in sales, then that would help me reach my 200 PRV every single month. And I wouldn't even have to leave these guys if I didn't want to. If I didn't need that break, I could leave whenever they were at preschool or daycare, or if they were, if they were home with me, I could put them in the car and they could ride with me to deliver these basket parties. So I found a way for it to work around my why of being able to be home with my children. Then all of a sudden I got into events. And events were really fun for me because all week I would be with the kids, and then in the events I get to go meet new people, get to have new blood, get to get my name out there, get to find out ways that I can actually grow the business outside of just the home parties and the basket parties. And then I found out about fundraisers. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Whatever goal it is with your business, find what will work for you. No one's telling you you have to leave your kids. No one's telling you that you don't have time and that you have to neglect everything in order to make Scentsy successful. No one's telling you that it's not possible. Everything is possible with this business. Get fundraisers going. Sign up for events if that's something that you like to do. Get those basket parties out. Or if you need a break, get those home parties going. Do sip and sniffs. Meet with your friends. There are so many ways that you can work this business. So that is what I mean by working smarter and not harder. Smarter. If I had to really look at my business and work it harder, that would have meant back then doing more home parties. Thinking that this is how I got my success was home parties, so that's what I have to continue to do. No, it wasn't. All I had to do was figure out I wanted to do $2,000 PRV a month. I didn't want to take my family money and put it into Scentsy, so therefore I needed to get my butt out there, find ways to get baskets in people's hands, find ways to get my name out there, find ways to get samples in people's hands, to get their feedback and to get follow-up from them, and then be consistent in my follow-up, serve these people, and get referrals. That's all I had to do in order to get my name out there, in order to grow, and I had to be consistent at it every single day. So you see, it wasn't working harder, it was working smarter. And whatever belief that you have about setting goals, that will excite you. If you thought to yourself, wow, I can get $2,000 in orders every single day. I mean, not every single day, every single month. I can get an annual mentor. I can get annual sales. I can earn the next trip, and I'm going to. And you set these small little steps. It's going to help you be able to get to those goals. So the biggest part of this, the biggest part, and what I have to tell you today before we get off, is that you have to decide something huge. And that is that you have to decide who do you need to become in order to achieve those goals that you have for yourself. Your thinking's got to change. Your approach has got to change. Your belief system has got to change. You've got to create the person in 2019 that you need to be in order to hit those goals. Which is going to lead us to tomorrow when we talk about our word for 2019. I've known for a while what my word needed to be. I have known because it has crept up on me in so many ways. And when I got sick, it really became apparent of what my word needed to be. And in order for me to have a thriving business, in order for me to be the leader that I need to be to you guys, and I apologize if I have not been there 100% in 2018, since it's a process, you're going to figure out some things work, some things don't work. And when you go back and you reflect and say, you know what, I didn't get enough recruits on my team. Why? Because I didn't talk to enough people. I didn't have enough joint conversations. And yeah, maybe you had a gazillion joint conversations and some people said no and you got frustrated. You keep going. You keep going. You can look at that little picture of the guy mining, and he's mining for gold. And if he would have just gone one more swipe, he would have hit gold. But instead he gave up because he had already gone this far. Do you see what I'm saying? You never know. You're this far. You're one person away from meeting that rock star that you need on your team. I'm telling you, It is the absolute truth. It's that one event that you need to go and find. It's that one more phone call that you need to make. It's that one more text message that you need to send. It's that one more, message to a friend to see if they're okay. It's just showing up. That's all it is. So for me to end up being the person I need to be in 2019, I have to be a different me. I cannot be the same Shannon from 2018. I have to be a new Shannon in 2019. New year, new you. In order for me to have the balance, in order for my business to thrive, I have to have balance in my family. My family has been chaotic. My business has absolutely run my life. And I want a life where I run my business. I don't want my business to run my life. But I know there's things that's got to happen. I got to meal prep. I've got to be more present at the home front. I've got to get everything in place so that whenever my business thrives, that it can breathe in the place that I have created for it. I have to be more intentional and purposeful. I have to prep more. And this isn't in Scentsy, because I feel like, Scentsy, I got this thing kind of down pat now, where I know where my baskets are going. I know when the Bring Back bar comes out that I have 8 people that are going to want to smell them. I know that they're going to have anywhere between $100 and $300 worth of orders, which is going to easily put me at my $2,000 PRV, because every year I have these people who want to bring back my bars, right? I know what events that I want to be in, if I want to be in any events, and I know what I need to do to follow up with my people. These are the things I've learned over the years. The 4 income producing activities, like I told you, booking, recruiting, follow up, and your personal sales. Every time that's going to get you where you need to go. But you're not going to get there until you become a new you. 2018 Shannon is not going to be able to crush the goals that I have set for myself in 2019. That mindset has to go into an abundance mindset. Believe me, when I was sitting down and writing down some of the things for 2019, my old mindset kept creeping in going, that's not going to happen. Are you kidding me? That is not going to happen. And then when I made the one phone call asking about something that would help me reach one of my goals, and they said, yeah, it's possible. Yeah, come in and meet us. Yeah, we can talk about things. It scared the living daylights out of me, because I'm so used to my comfort zone of right here that I'm not ready. I didn't think I was ready to go here. But like I told you before in that other video, nervousness and excitement live in the same place. So when I thought that phone call scared me about something that might be possible in 2019, I was like, whoo, that's too scary for me. I'm going to back up. But then I was like, wait, nervousness and excitement live in the same place. I'm excited about that. That could be huge. That could be great. That'd be awesome. Let's do it. So think about it. Those big, scary goals that you have for yourself. You want to walk across the stage in 2019 as a director in July? You can do it. No one says that you have to only become a director in the fall whenever sales are booming and everybody's buying for Christmas. No, you start serving those people who already bought from you. And if you're brand new, you start serving people around you, asking for referrals, getting out samples in people's hands, and getting feedback from them, following up with them. And I guarantee you, if you set a goal every single day for yourself to sell $23, so $23 times 30 is almost like a little bit over $500, right? In sales. I think it's like $600 and some dollars. If you were to do that every single day, just find someone $23 a day. That's not even a 6-pack. But if you did $23 a day, and then let's say you did $23 a day, and then tomorrow you did like $80, you wouldn't take away from the $80 for the 23. You would keep going for that $23 a day. And you would find yourself growing and really blowing your mind on what you are capable of when you just set the smallest little goals. So what I want you to take away from this today is when you're going through all of your goals is you've got to change your mind. You've got to change your mind and your thinking. You got to find out who do you need to be in order to achieve the goals you have set for yourself. Do you want to be a successful Scentsy consultant? Then what does that take? You know your what, now what is your how, right? How are you going to be a successful Scentsy consultant? You're going to follow up. You're going to start asking people for bookings. You're going to start asking people to join your team. You're going to ask for referrals. That's what you're going to do. And you have to be excited about it. You have to know people are out there waiting for this opportunity. You have no idea. I'm waking up every day to text messages. I have 2 girls that message me saying, I'm thinking about joining. They bought a little bit over Christmas, but they're thinking about joining. If I had the mindset, well, Christmas is over, I'm not going to be able to get sales again until August or September next year, then my business wouldn't thrive. But instead, people are starting to put the Valentine's stuff out. I don't know why, we hadn't gone through winter yet, but they're starting to look for Valentine's stuff. They're starting to think clean. They're starting to think fresh. They're putting away all the Christmas stuff. All you got to do is share it with them. That's all you have to do. Have an abundance mindset. All the things that are possible for you. And set it up that way. You can do it. Figure out how to do it. That's something else we're going to talk about, is how to do it. So today, sit down. Dream big. Figure out, who do you need to be in order for this to happen? In order for me to thrive, like I said, in 2019, in case you're joining late, in order for me to thrive and my business to thrive, my family has to thrive. For my business to thrive, this cannot be neglected. How can I help that? If I know I have a home party night, I need to make sure dinner is prepared and it's easy and Steve's not going to give me a hard time about having to make him, after he's been at work all day, have to feed my kids. He's probably going to be more supportive of me doing my events and doing parties, if I do parties, because I made it easy for him at home, right? Have everything laid out for your kids. Have, the clothes they're going to have. I have to go to Cancun next week with Scentsy because I earned the trip. How exciting, right? Kristen's going and Katie's going and there's so many people going. I'm so excited. But I have to set everything up in order to be successful while I'm gone. I've got to get the kids' clothes lined out. I've got to have their lunch set up. I've got to meal prep. I've got to have everything in order for it to be successful. Same way with my business when I get back from Cancun. If I want it to thrive, my home has to be alive. It has to support me. It has to know these are my dreams. These dreams are for you guys too. I sat down with my kids and I'm like, what do you want? What is your vision for 2019? And my son's like, I want more adventure. I want to go places more. Well, guess what? Open up your planner. That purple, remember we were talking about that earlier in today's post. If you go back and look at the planner, figure out. If you don't have a family yet and you're not married yet, figure out your time, my time, your friend's time. But for me, family time. Every week, when's going to be my family time? We do movie nights. My kids love it. They push all the furniture together. We do movie nights. That's something they absolutely love. Once a month, we're going to start doing something as a family. Whether it's jump down to the beach in the camper, go to the mountains in the camper, just get away for the day and go to a movie date, doesn't matter. They're going to get my time. My family comes first. And when you serve God and your family and you do it in the order you're supposed to, like for me, I think it's God, husband, family, everything else will come into place. But when I try and serve Scentsy first and I don't take care of the other, then that's when everything's going to get screwed up in my life, because I'm not becoming the Shannon that 2019 needs me to be in order for my Scentsy business to thrive. Does that make sense for you? So look at your life of 2019. What do you want in it? What do you want to thrive? If you want your Scentsy business to thrive, what do you need to put into place? Don't tell me, well, my husband doesn't support me. Well, how could he support you? Maybe if you take some of your Scentsy paycheck and do something sweet for him every single month, maybe he might support you. Maybe if you make it easier for him at home to take care of the kids in the home front so that you can go and work your Scentsy business, he might support you. You've got to be able to figure out, what is it that's holding you back? If you don't have the time, everybody has 24 hours in a day. So I don't have the time, I could say, but if I don't make the time, it ain't going to happen. So whatever your excuse is, figure out what the person that you need to be and have that abundance mindset for 2019, and you can crush it. And we can finish out 2019 and come back a year from, today and say, I'm so glad I did this. Because of this, this is what happened in my life. All right? You guys have a great day. Share this with your teams. Let me see what your beautiful big goals are. And tell me, who do you need to be in 2019 in order for that to happen? Okay. Bye.